Trying to figure this out. I don't know. Come along on this journey with me here. I know that there's a way to make what am I looking for? I cannot. I'm like spacing out so hard. Okay, HDMI info display off. There it is. Nice. Cool. So this multi-camera getting real fancy now, eh, boys and girls? Let's see, where do we want to put this? Let's move Caden here. Oh, I'm a little bit sweaty. I just got done with a workout, but I don't want to shower yet because I'm gonna go for a run here once Sam gets home. Hey, look at that angle. Yo, welcome. What's up, guys? Welcome to the deal. So you want to know the run that I'm about to do is the run that you're currently seeing right now. Yeah, but do you want to know the unfortunate true reality of the swimming headphones? So I finally got them. Hold on, let me show you. One second. Hold on. Please excuse me, I am in my underwear. So, these are the headphones here. Sorry, my setup's not official yet. These are the headphones here with the little MP3 player. I used it the other day for the first time in the pool, and I'm probably going to use it again tomorrow. But, whoops. I can officially say they suck. It's terrible experience. I haven't written them off completely yet. I'm going to give them another shot. But honestly, I think the issue, like the fundamental issue with waterproof headphones is just sound and water don't go together in terms of like music. You know, they don't go together in the way that we think. Because essentially what I think happens, because when you get in the pool, it sounds like suddenly the music just shuts off. But then you adjust the headphone, and then it like comes through really well, you know? So I think what's happening is water gets between like the hole, the ear hole, and your eardrum. This is total theory. I have no way to prove this. But I think that there's like water that gets in between there, or makes some kind of a weird seal so that you can't hear it. It like prevents the vibrations from working properly or something. Because then I'll move it and it'll be like, oh, it'll come through beautifully. And then I'll go underwater, it'll work for a second, but then I feel like water get in my ear or something, and suddenly I can't hear the music at all, or it's very distant. So sort of the thought that I was having as I was swimming was, I would liken this experience to I'm swimming while there's somebody outside the pool who's playing music from a boombox. So it's kind of like I wouldn't listen to music that like I wouldn't listen to the new Kendrick Lamar album for the first time in these headphones because I would miss all of the lyrical storytelling. But if I was just listening to like songs that I've heard a million times, you know when you hear a song that you've heard a million times, so like even if you don't hear it all the way, your brain continues to play it. You know, it's more like the audio is just a cue for you to listen to music in your brain. Does that make sense? I would say that that's probably the most appropriate way to treat using the headphones. So would I say that it's worth $70 to get these? I don't know yet. I'll let you know. Right now, based on my first experience, I'm gonna give it a hard no. It's not worth it. But as I do longer swims, open water stuff, I don't know. Because let me tell you like a real thing. Okay, so I'm gonna start doing open water swimming in the summer, like swimming in a lake, and I'm fine with like swimming in water, in an open body of water, so long as I don't think about what's underneath me, right? So like when I had my boat a couple summers ago, I would sit in the, I'd go jump in the water and cool off and like swim around, no problem, not a big deal. But the idea of wearing goggles and putting my face down into the water and then like seeing the abyss, and I'm by myself and I'm in the middle of like Lake Potanipo, that idea is potentially very scary to me. And I am afraid that I'm going to get too spooked. So I actually read up on this, and it's a very common fear. And there's actually a girl that I know who does ocean swimming, who's at the YMCA, and she recommended to practice swimming with your eyes closed at first, so that when you're out there, you can, like when your face is down, you can have your eyes closed and then you look up when you go. I know this sounds really silly, but it's genuinely something that like I know I'll get over it. Like I know that I'll find a way to get over it. But I'd be lying if I said I'm kind of fearful of that first long distance swim across into the middle of a lake by myself. That's a long way of saying I think that having music will come in handy, because it sort of takes my mind off of it. I've done that in the past when I go, like when I went up to film the caves in Lyman. There was just something very spooky about being up there on your own and like hearing just noises coming out of the cave and whatever. It just like plays with your mind being out there alone, or at least it was. So I just put on headphones and played music, and that like made all the, the spookiness go away almost completely. So anyways, I hope you're enjoying this run that's happening right now. I'm about 7 minutes into talking, and I think this full run is probably going to be about 30, because I'm doing, I should be doing 3.2 miles, because I have a 5K on Sunday. So I want to go the distance this evening. Because I'm not gonna run tomorrow. Did I say tomorrow? I have a race on Sunday. Today's Friday. I don't want to run tomorrow, so I'm running tonight, and then I'm gonna bike and swim in the morning. And I just did a little bit of a strength workout, and I might do another one in the morning, but probably not. Look at this guy. Oh, of course he stops moving now, but he was moving all over the place. He's been really going through a teething thing, or I don't know what it is, but he's been sort of a grumpy grouch lately, and sometimes he has a hard time going to sleep. Poor little guy. He's such a sweetheart though. He's just such a little sweet guy. He's very smiley. He's always so well behaved, he's not like he's never a nightmare. And I find myself saying to people that being a parent is easier than I thought it was going to be, which I know it's like the reaction to that is understandable. And I know everyone says, just wait. I'm waiting. I'm not saying it's going to be like this forever, but I don't know. I think you just see like commercials and movies and stuff of babies crying for like all night long, and the parents are like, I want a gun. And so I think I was just sort of expecting that, and that never really came, just because he was always an angel. Don't get me wrong, I've had really long nights with him, but it hasn't been like incessant, and I think that's just what I assumed being a parent was just incessant crying, dealing with that. And that hasn't so much been the case with him. So it's been an incredibly rewarding experience. It really is, it really is all the cliche stuff. Every word that's come out of my mouth in this entire experience has been incredibly cliche, and I see why, There's definitely, it's like no matter how much you think, because I don't think I was really somebody who Yeah, I just didn't think I'd enjoy it as much, to be honest with you. I feel like there's something in nature. There's like some kind of chemical thing that just happens. Like nature just takes care of it, you know. For most people, I know there's parents out there who just genuinely don't like the experience, and but I think there's outside factors. I think if you have a generally, you know, well-adjusted person, and I use that term pretty loosely, there's just something inherently ancient in humans and in our DNA. It's like the core. It's the most important part of our existence is to reproduce and take care of offspring and ensure the future of our genetics. So having a kid, there's like something that just kicks into you. You know, I think it's extremely powerful in women for sure, because they actually go through like a physiological experience. But, you know, obviously it's different for men, but I still think there's something that sort of influences your brain. I don't know if it's a chemical or maybe it's placebo. Like there's just, I don't know. I'm sure those of you who've been through the experience have somewhat of an idea of what I'm talking about, you know? I can't say I ever had like the big, oh my gosh, I'm a dad now moment. I have like little versions of that. But I'd say it wasn't until he started to smile at me that I really felt a connection with him, you know, because the first few months, it's really cool, you know, and you obviously love this child, but you don't really, there's no response, you know, you don't, I mean, just for me, I'm just speaking of my experience, I didn't feel like, you know, I don't know, you just kind of taking care of this thing, you know, and there's no way to develop a relationship with it. Him, you know. Well, that kind of proves my point. Like he's this human, and you know he is a human, and the importance, like you understand all that, but it just doesn't really feel, you know, whatever. But then I'd say right about the 4-month mark is suddenly when he started to smile at me and laugh, and we would get into routines, and that's when it like totally changes, you know. And now that he recognizes me when I come home, and he smiles when he sees me come into a room, I mean, dude, that seals the deal. You go off, you fight a war for that kid, you know. Once they start doing that, you're like, I'm all in. Like whatever, dude. Like I will go to the moon and back 800 times. So he's a sweet boy. He's a good guy. I'm talking about all this while my fingers are like triple crossed that he doesn't wake up. It's the duality. Okay, I've talked long enough. 13 minutes. That's probably good. So what do you think of this camera situation? Should this be a permanent feature? This kind of camera, I think I should replace this one up there. And then this one can be the auxiliary. Because I do like the idea of being able to have a dedicated camera, you know, like one that's close up. Almost. You know, it just has a different range. So it's like, and then I found out he was dead, you know, gives you some dramatic. This lens actually, the lens that's currently on this camera is actually not meant for that camera. It's meant for this camera. So the quality is actually kind of wonk. But I don't have a power adapter for this camera. Only this one. So, and I like that wide. I like the wide angle. This is a 12 millimeter lens, which is really, really wide. The widest that you can get before it starts to just be considered a fisheye lens is about 10 millimeters. And so 12 is pretty rare. To give you a little bit of context, the wide angle on your iPhone is a 14 millimeter. So, it's just, no, I'm sorry. I think it's a 16. Yeah, 16 millimeter. So that gives you some perspective of really, I mean, this is a very wide lens, which is great for things like vlogging, you know? So if you can't see yourself, you know that you have so much play. Like, you know, like I can move the camera. Well, there's no way to illustrate this, but I can move the camera so much and you can still see me. God, I'm rambling like crazy. Okay. See you later. Bye. Oh, look at me run, dude. Where am I going to put this? Probably up here. Whoa. I'm so fast.